Hey guys, this here's Big Will, and today we are going to be grading my Deadpool number 11, the Asgardian variant, because it's just too funny. Now, we're going to do this one a little bit different. This is a very high grade copy, so what I'm going to do is read you the main points of a 9.8 and show you something here in my book that tells us how many defects is allowed in a 9.8. And then we're just going to look through it like we normally do and see if we can't figure out what grade it is. So, the bindery defects, only subtle bindery defects or printing defects are allowed. No bindery tears. Cover or exterior, flat with no surface wear. Inks are bright with high reflectivity and minimal fading. Generally well centered and firmly secure. Corners are cut square and sharp. No creases, small inconspicuous, lightly pencil stamped or inked arrival dates. The spine is tight and flat. No spine roll or split allowed. Staples must be original, generally centered and clean with no rust, no staple tears, no stress lines. The paper in the interior is off-white to white, supple and fresh. No hint of acidity in the odor of the newsprint. And the centerfold must be firmly secure. Now, if we look at this graph here in the book, if I can show it, there we go. It lists how many defects per grade. And if you look right here, the near mint, which is 9.8, has a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 2 defects where my left thumb is. That's where I'm reading that. Let me get that a little closer. There you go. So, what we're going to do is go through this book, and once we get to 2 defects, we're good to go. But if we go to a number 3, then this book is no longer to be considered a 9.8. Now, first things first, let me bring it up, and we're going to check these corners. Now, I don't know about you, but that looks fairly square to me and sharp, as does that one. I see that could possibly be a small bindery tear right there. Possibly, I'm not sure. That staple, however, looks very, very shiny. And I see almost no breaking at all here on the spine. It all looks to be the same color. Let me flip it around. That staple also looks very nice and shiny. And we have possibly something on this corner. Now, as far as the shine of the book, yeah, that is flat as can be. Let's take a look-see at the back side. That's what she said. I couldn't resist. Anyway, okay, so as far as the back, very shiny. There is possibly something right here. Let me turn it around so you can see. Do you see that right in there? That may possibly be something. I don't know. So let us look on the interior now. I'm just going to go straight because this is a modern book. We shouldn't have any issues. So let's just go right to the staples. Okay, so these are rather large staples. Look at that. It's a bit weird. Same thing here. But as far as tears, maybe when it comes through the paper, maybe not. And I don't really have to worry about counting this because it's a modern book. And I'm also not worried about color touch because, again, of it being such a modern book. So now, here's how we're going to have to think about this. We possibly have something here at this bottom corner. All right, that would be one defect. We possibly have something here at this corner. That is number 2 defect. Now, according to CGC, most of the time, if a bindery tear happens, such as on Amazing Spider-Man 1, the like 50, 60 something giant pager, they were allowing those. So I don't know what we're going to have here. And then, of course, the staples on the interior could possibly be considered having some tearing. And then there's that dent on the back. So worst case scenario, we have 4 defects. So I still think this has a high possibility of becoming a 9.8 book. But since we saw a possibility of 4 defects, I'm going to say a 9.6. Now, let me just bring up some photographs of 9.8s and see if I can find a few things here that we can look at. Okay. According to the book, the Mad here has a very subtle bindery cut, and that's all that's wrong with it. The Crackerjack Funnies here has a penciled arrival date, but doesn't affect the grade. It has a cover slightly miswrapped, but that's okay. Slight oxidation shadow and a greased pencil number. That's the worst case for there. Let's see if there's some modern stuff in this book. There we go. Oh, the Witchblade here has a color fleck on the right there and on the corner. This Daredevil has color flecks here and here and a gatefold cover. So the obvious defects here are the color flecks along the gatefold, and that's it. This one has no obvious defects, but slight fading of cover inks. I assume that's where the flecks are, is the only issue there. So man, guys, I just really don't know. I'm just gonna say this is a 9.6 and hope for the best about getting a 9.8 because I don't know what they will accept on this particular book. And I also don't know what it'll be because I'm not sending this to CGC. I've decided to send 4 of my books that I've graded on camera to CBCS without pressing, and we're going to test the accuracy of my grade. So I have another video to record. I don't know when I'll release it, and of course there's this one. But when I do receive those books back, we will see how good a grader I am. Hopefully I'm not too bad. I could be one of the worst. I don't know. We'll find out together. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all later.